Hello, hello, hello. I'm so excited to be here for this video. I know I've been talking about this for a while. This is my video where I'm going to read the BQH session that I had. So what a BQH session is Beyond Quantum Healing. And it's where you work with a practitioner and they put you into a deep hypnosis, and then they bring you to either a past, present, or parallel lifetime that you've lived or are living. And then that's the first part of the hypnosis. And the second part is where they bring forth your higher self. So my higher self comes through and directly channels through me and speaks with the practitioner. So I was I remembered the first part of the hypnosis, most of it as, but then the part where my higher self speaks, I don't remember. Basically, I black out, and it's my higher self speaking to the practitioner. And so then I got the recording of it, and so I typed it all out. The entire session is 5 hours long, so that was long, but I promise this will not be 5 hours. I typed out the whole recording. The actual hypnosis part was only about 2.5 to 3 hours. But what I'm going to do here, obviously within 3 hours, I got so much information. But my main job here, I know why I'm on this planet, is to help spread the love, to help people choose the timeline, the higher timeline of love and light. And I got direct validation, direct confirmation of that with this session. So that felt amazing. So what I'm going to do is basically just describe to you here the first part of the hypnosis, and that lifetime I was in, and then I'll kind of read off important parts that I think will be good for you all to hear. Please take this with a grain of salt. Please, I just ask that you open your mind, open your heart. Let the words that resonate with you stay and help you. Let the words that don't resonate with you kind of sit within you. If they don't resonate, let them go. I'm not trying to shove anything down your throats. I'm not trying to change your perspective on anything. I am truly bringing forth my truth, bringing forth the messages that I was directly given from myself and from this session. So we're just going to get kind of into it. So grounding into your space, holding that love within you. How it started is she put me into the deep hypnosis, and I went to a parallel lifetime. So it wasn't a future or a present or a future or a past. It was a present parallel lifetime that I'm living on inner earth. So that was fun. I kind of explored around inner earth a little. And then I went up into space and I explored a home planet of mine, which was amazing. I was crying in the recording, which was interesting or kind of hard to listen to. And I felt very homesick, and it got immediately relieved as I was brought to this planet. So take that with a grain of salt. We kind of just got right into it. I don't need to get into details about that. What I'm going to do today is just share the stuff that my guides have asked that I share with you all. This message is going to be very helpful for other light workers like myself, other beings who have come to this planet to help in the time that we are actually currently in, especially when there's so much fear around. So what happened when I was on this planet is I was brought into a workstation that I worked at. And another cool thing was she asked, were there other beings on the planet? Can you speak to anyone? And I was like, no, I'm actually the only one here. And I just know with an intuitive knowing, all of my family and friends from this planet are on Earth right now as well. We've all chosen to go to Earth to live this lifetime and to help anchor it into the new awakening that we're currently going through. So that was cool. So hey fam, hey friends, it's probably some of you. If this is resonating, that's very exciting. Yay, being human. So when I went into this workstation on this home planet, I walked in and there was this huge screen TV. Huge. I don't know, it probably isn't called a screen TV there, but it looked like that here. And it had a control panel that I just knew how to work. And so I was working it, and how it worked is it worked with my intention. So whatever I asked it to show me, it would show me. But whatever it was showing me, I couldn't physically like go into the screen or change anything about the timeline it was showing me. But also what it was showing me couldn't get to me either. It couldn't really see that I was watching. So that's important to know. So I'm watching the screen, and so the practitioner asks me she's like, can you see Earth? And I said, yes. When I just intend, whatever I intend to do, it does. So it's showing me Earth. kind of zoomed out. So I'm looking at Earth, just floating around in space. So beautiful. And I go to current day. It took me to current day Earth. And there was this heavy red mist around the Earth. And I just knew, I was like, this mist, this red feels negative. It feels like I should be scared of it. I'm not, but I feel like it's wanting me to be. It's really holding the energy of fear. It's holding the energy of control, and it's feeding off of that from humans. And I just knew that was happening. I was just saying that. And then she asks me, can you fast forward into the future? And so I go, yes. So I just, with intent, fast forward into the future of Earth. And there was just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful purples and blues and golds and greens. And it felt so light, and you just felt this like cheerful energy coming off of it. And I was like, oh, I want to stay on this Earth. What is this? And so she goes, okay, can you go back to Earth and see, let's go back between the red energy and the purple energy, what's happening. So that's where we're at. And so that now I'll just kind of read off. So I have the script typed up on my computer here. I'm just going to read, kind of fast forward and scroll through parts that I think will be beneficial for you all to hear. So bear with me. I don't really have this super organized, obviously, but you don't need to know much detail about the lifetime I was in. So I feel like the red is very negative, like I'm scared of it. So I have all that. The purple around the Earth and the future. In the future as well, she goes, this is just for fun. She goes, what's going on like in the future lifetime of Earth? And I said, there's a lot of movement around the Earth. It's like I'm watching from space. I'm seeing constant movement to and from Earth. It's open communication with other beings, with ships. They just come and go, but it's full of love. It took me to the East Coast real quick, and there's a huge platform in the ocean off of the coast, like a landing platform. Ships land there. They communicate, and it feels very happy, very light, very loving. It looks like they're trading with us almost. Very open communication. The Earth was beautiful, very green. It looked like inner Earth. So the inner Earth that I was brought to, which is why I was brought to it, to see what it looked like. It's like the inner Earth was pulled up onto the surface, and that we were all living in that dimension of love and light and bliss and peace and inner Earth beauty. So that was beautiful. So she goes, okay, let's go back between this point, the future lifetime of Earth, and the red. What happened? And then I started crying. That was very hard to listen to on the recording and kind of weird. But I started crying, and I say, there's so much fear. So what it did is it brought me from the screen closer in. There's so much fear. It's roaring, like there's an uproar. There's a collective roaring happening. She goes, what's causing this uproar? Okay, so just so you know, the script that I typed out is so the practitioner's talking to me the entire time. And so when I ask a question here, I'm just going to ask, and that's the practitioner speaking, and then it's me replying, which I'm just talking about what I'm seeing. So she goes, what is the cause of this uproar? And I say, finding out the truth, finding out a lot. They're mad that they've been lied to. The humans know that they didn't have to be as scared as they've felt. They're finding that out. I say, it's terrible. Terrible truths are coming to the surface. And then it zooms me back out. I'm not going to get into a lot of the fear and a lot of the stuff I was shown, because everyone has their own fear. Everyone has their own truth about what is truly controlling and causing this fear. All I'm going to say is there is a darker agenda out there. There is beings, human and galactic, that wish to cause harm on this society. Most of you probably already know that if you're watching this video. So this is from the Lightworkers standpoint. We knew that. That's why we're here. We're here to help. We're not, yes, we're obviously fighting it, but we're not like warriors. We're respecting everything at an equal level, but we're choosing to focus on the love and say, no, absolutely not to the fear. We are sovereign beings. Absolutely not. You cannot get into me. We do that for ourselves so that we can show others that they can do that as well. So yes, there's darker agendas. Yes, I was shown a lot of terrible stuff happening, but that's not important. And that's important for you to know, that it's not important to share with you, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We know that we're living in a world that is full of fear, that is full of control, that is full of things that is trying to control us. And we're stepping out of that. And that's what we got to focus on here. We're focusing on the love and the light. We don't need to focus on this and that and who caused this harm. It will be brought, it's happening exactly as it's meant to. It will be brought to the surface. We will find out the truth. And you have the choice when you find out the truth, whether you want to be super pissed or super scared of it, or to be like, okay, I see you, I know you. I'm not going to put up with you anymore. I'm going to choose this timeline. So that's kind of what I'll get into here is, so it zoomed me back out, and I say, as a lot of this truth was coming to the surface and people were getting angrier and angrier and finding out more and more, all of a sudden it was like, it showed me that there was like 2 portals that opened up on Earth. So you can take this as a metaphor, you can take this literally, whatever resonates with you. But it showed me like 2 portals opening up on Earth. And I say they lead to timelines. It opens up basically a choice for people for what they want to do after they roar. They can see one timeline and it's full of that purple, green, blue Earth that we saw in the future, or they can see the other timeline and it's not really full of the red, because the red is going to be transmuted as it comes to the surface, but it's still an older timeline and it looks very bland. There's not as much fear, but there's still the same things happening over and over. People are still having to learn lessons. People are still choosing to live in fear and to live with circumstances that they don't want to live with. So there's basically 2 timelines that open up after people start realizing that they have the power to choose their own timelines. And I say it's very easy to fall into this same timeline, but they have to choose which timeline they want. So she asks, what do people have to do to make this choice? Can they physically see the light in that timeline and then choose? And I say yes. They just have to choose to look away from the dark or to move past it. They've seen it, they know it, they cannot become it. They have to look away and move on from it to choose the higher timeline. By doing that, it will heal whatever darkness may still be within them, just by that choice. It is just a choice. It is simple, but that can seem hard. The dark is using their talons. People can see these talons and feel it now. They can be scared of that or choose not to work with it anymore. So when I say talons, you can take that as a metaphor or physical as well. I'm not saying, I don't want to cause fear that the dark is like physically sticking huge talons into us, but if you want to go from that perspective, that's what it was showing me, is there's these like red spikes coming into humans that were choosing to tap into fear just by choosing like, oh, I'm going to be scared of this, or I'm going to be stressed, or have anxiety or doubt myself. Just any of those heavy, dense feelings is what the fear feeds off of. When you do that, you're basically opening up your body for permission for more and more of it to get into you. Okay? That's not supposed to cause any more fear, because you'll hear what I have to say here. We're okay. I want you to know, I saw the perspective. My guides always talk about this. I've already seen the perspective that we move past it. So use that excitement. Hold that when you like hear these words or when you move through fear, to realize from one perspective, we've already passed this. We're just in the timeline right now, in this linear time of going through it. Just, this is what being human is. This is all part of it. This is all part of the awakening. So you have your choice of how you want to handle it, but we are moving past it. We will move past it, I promise. They're using their talents. When I say talents, just picture like the red, the fear kind of getting into you. But people, so when the truth comes up to the surface, it's like people can see it now. They'll see the talons. And so I say people can see the talons and they'll feel it now. They can either be scared, choose to be scared of it, or they can choose to not work with it anymore. So it's all of a sudden like we're going to be able to see it and be like, holy shit, that's not mine. Why is that in me? Basically. And then you're going to be, of course, most people are going to be like, no, no, get out of me. But some people might be like, this is what I'm used to. Like, no, like it makes sense to be scared of things. It makes sense to have doubt. It makes sense. Like, no, it doesn't. It really doesn't. We would not be placed here on this earth if we were not capable of releasing fear and living the highest lifetime ever. It is very possible to live in that future earth that I saw, because it's going to happen of peace and love and joy and bliss only. That is very possible, and that is coming, and that is happening. But you have a choice. Everyone has their own timeline and truth, so it'll be easier to see the fear pretty soon, to be able to help you release more and more. But it's free will. No one's going to come in and do it for you. You have to release it on your own. This is what free will is. You have the choice of your free will to be like, no, basically. So she zooms me back out. She says, zoom out and move forward. How many choose the light timeline versus the dark timeline? And I say 85% choose the light. Everyone has the choice, but it seems like a separate place between the timelines. Some who choose the lower timeline, however, still have the choice to go to the light eventually. And I was seeing I was seeing two timelines, this higher timeline and this lower timeline. And there was so I was in the middle. I was just kind of watching as people were choosing the timelines. And there was almost like little portals opening from the lower dark timeline going up into the light. So I immediately knew that that was people basically being like, shit, like I actually do see the fear now. I just had to live through it a little longer to eventually make my own choice of moving up with the others as well. But it will be a lot easier when there's a ton of us way showers on this higher timeline just calling you up, and we're being patient, we're loving you through all of it because we're realizing that we went through that as well. This is what being a light worker is. This is what being a way shower is choosing that higher timeline and holding space and just allowing others to eventually follow you with their own truth as well. So don't be scared about that either. I still saw that people still had the option if they chose the lower timeline or chose the same timeline to move up into the love timeline. And she goes, okay, so let's follow the light. When people choose the light, what's their experience? So I say bliss, peace that makes no sense to us right now, freedom. It's an overwhelming freedom, not from a sense of fear at all, unconditional excitement. There's so much cheering, as if that fearful roar has been silenced by a light cheering roar. So that was there. So I go back to she brings me back to the red and current day. She goes, basically, what's happening right now? I say there's a lot of confusion. People are going to use this confusion for fear. So I know I actually did a video on that. So that was great validation. Not confusing your confusion with fear. So people are going to use this confusion for fear. It feels like there's so much happening. It's very jumbled. There are so many people involved in uncovering of these truths. There are so many. Everyone is being very confused by how they could have missed seeing this, by how they could have missed and been controlled like this. People they've trusted or have known are involved in both uncovering the truth or as well as other things. But everything will come up at once. Everything will be shown and people will have the choice of what they want their truth to be. She goes, very good. What is the best thing people can do for others during this time and now? This time in the future of the earth. And I say, love each other. To just realize that did not go away. That was never harmed. It was just that you were choosing to feel the fear or the talons. Love each other. You have to. When they show someone who is loving, it's like they're so bright that they can create a physical timeline for others. So when they showed me someone who was full of love and loving others, it's not just love. We're not just talking about, oh, I love you. Love is an actual energetic, badass tool to be using right now. It is transmuting things that you don't even have to understand. But what it's also doing, especially when we start uncovering and becoming lighter and lighter beings within this awakening, is it's creating physical timelines for us to walk on. It's creating physical timelines that connect us to that collective timeline. So take this, I feel like I just have to say this. We each have our own timeline. We can each create our own life, our own timeline, of course. And when you're full of love, you create this timeline that you're choosing to walk upon regardless of outside circumstances. And what's really cool with love, because love is so accepting and unconditional and so expanded, that others can choose that timeline as well. It basically calls others, wakes up the love timeline in other people for them to create their own timeline as well. It's very self-empowering. It's very helpful. It's very patient. It's very kind. It's very open to everyone, even the darkest of dark. Love is still like, I love you. Like, I love you. And I know that's hard. That is very hard to do, especially when we're in a 3D matrix and in human bodies and we're like, no, there's good and bad, evil and like heaven. Blah, like that's what we think that's just a program in us. We can just start releasing that and just choose love. Just use that mantra, I choose love, no matter what it is, because it transmutes more than you'll ever realize. So, sorry. Back to this. When you create that timeline, your own timeline of love, it connects to that collective timeline of love that I was shown. So it's like this actual physical portal was opened and connects you directly into that collective timeline of that higher timeline of love that I was shown with that beautiful purple and inner earth up on the surface. when you choose your own timeline of that. So it's basically right now what we're in is the process of choosing which timeline we want to create for ourselves, because that will eventually connect us to those higher collective timelines. I hope that resonated. So I say, when they show someone who is loving, it's like they're so bright and could create this timeline. That's what I just explained. So one person has the ability to create this timeline and create a path of light and love for others. One person can do that. Imagine what will happen when everyone does that. This is going to help others connect to each other, connect to the collective timeline, and help connect the dots so that they don't have to unscramble as much as the confusion, because they're choosing love. They're choosing this light path together. So it's going to help unscramble a lot of the stuff. It's going to help transmute a lot of the anger, a lot of the fear, because we're just not even choosing the fear. We're not choosing to try to figure out why, who, what, why, when, where. We're just being like, F that, basically. We see you. We do not like that, but we're choosing the love. Okay? So it's just shifting around. So she asks, what is the best way to choose love when faced with so much fear? And I was shown to find it in them first, to not search on the outside for it. It is in, they showed me this physical orb. It is in this orb, right above the belly button and about 2 inches up the sternum. And it is very patient. It is waiting to be seen and expanded. So there's this actual physical portal within each of us, this love portal. And you're probably feeling it right now. It's kind of expanding and pulsing because you're being like, oh, what is down there? Like, you're just noticing it, and it's like, oh. So what I said here is, it's very patient. It's waiting to be seen and expanded. It wants to come out. As soon as someone notices this love within them, it comes out of every part of their body. It just grows and glows brighter and brighter and brighter. And that's what will create that physical timeline path that you will walk upon. As soon as you notice that this unconditional energy of love has always been there, it creates that timeline of light in alignment with your divine purpose. But this can be hard to choose. It can be. It doesn't have to be. A lot know that they have this love, and a lot are going to be struggling to find that love within them. They'll still be in touch with that red. It's a very ugly, negative red, like the talons, but it's not poking or hurting that love portal within them. It's just around it. It's very easy to confuse that and think that you've lost your love, and to think that that red has completely taken over the love. It hasn't. All it is doing is kind of poking around it, but it is impenetrable. So I said, the red is like talons, but it cannot harm your love. You just have to dig deeper. Choose to dig deeper under that red, regardless if the red is there or not. Choose to dig deeper, realize that it cannot be touched, and choose to focus on that love, not on the fear, not on the red. Dig deeper. You have to choose and understand that it's there. That love did not go anywhere. The red just tries to mask it. That's all it's doing, is trying to mask it. But it will never, ever be fully capable of doing that, of fully ever harming it. It is impenetrable. It was just showing, like, no matter what, this is what being a light being is you can't be touched. That's where your sovereign power relies. It can't be touched. Then the red knows that. The red knows, like, it doesn't want us to tap into that part of us. This dark agenda doesn't want us to find that part of us within us, because it knows once we start tapping into it, that it's done. The fear cannot do anything about it, and it knows that. That's why it's trying its hardest to hold on as tight as it can, because it's like, crap, more people are waking up to this, more people are seeing it, and it's like, we can't do anything about that. That is a law of the universe. That is a law that no one can touch, no being can touch. That is your sovereign power, that was what a gift you were born with. So start using it, is basically, that one pumps me up. She goes, very good. Can they show you how to hold the love and spread the truth at the same time? And I say, just by speaking with it. It creates that timeline of love for you. It creates your own timeline. When you speak from this space of understanding that you're only love, it will only create truth. There's no other option. No matter what you say, when you activate this timeline of love and light, you choose this love and you choose to shift into this higher timeline. There's only truth that is found there. So keep speaking to those who... Okay, sorry, I think it paused a little, so taking another video quick, but that was perfect timing, because now it's actually the time to shift. It's where my higher self comes in and starts speaking through me. And so this is the practitioner and my higher self speaking with each other. And I just typed down the notes I got from the recording from it. So hopefully that's all resonating. feel that love, let that love portal shine in you right now, and then we'll get into kind of why I was shown um, these messages, and this is really helpful for a lot of light workers as well. Kind of like, why are you shown all these timelines? Okay, so she goes, why did you bring Joanna to this experience today? To be able to see all timelines at once. Why see all timelines? So that everyone knows that they have the choice. This is happening. It comes down to which choice you want to take. Very good. What will happen in the next few months within her or other light workers' lives? She will come face to face with people who believe that the darkness is for good. It will cause her to doubt herself. So seeing this new higher timeline of love will be her truth. She says, okay, will these people be confused, thinking that the dark may be for the good? I say, yes, they'll be confused and overwhelmed. They'll want to think that they're choosing the right path, but she has the ability to create this timeline of love and light for them, and then they will choose and make their own choice. She can't choose what others want her to choose. This will be wrapped up in they will be wrapped up in these red talons of fear, and they'll need to come to terms with that on their own. It's just a confusion and a layer that they have to dig deeper into. She and other light workers have done this work, so keep true to that. She says, very good. What do you have to say about the virus? Why is it here in this reality, and what will happen? So my higher self goes, it is here to help expose the truth. It is a catalyst. It has been made by those who wish harm on society, but it is just part of the plan. Do not tap into the red talons or into that fear. It is happening exactly how it is meant to, and it will be released. This one. She goes, will information be given to the collective about who or what started this virus? And I say yes, but that part's not important right now. What I just want to say is yes. It's a validation that the collective will be told. They have the choice when they find out the truth of this virus or of this tool that has been used to create harm, of what they want to do with this fear. So this is where they go into talking about how the virus is a tool. So they say, it is just a tool. This virus is a tool from our perspective and a tool from the darkness's perspective to become more important than love. But it cannot penetrate the love. We're just watching it progress. The red is scared. The red sees that it has been seen. The more who come in contact with this love by choosing not to focus on this fear or virus shine brighter and will help dim this tool. So if that helps, start looking at the virus just like a stupid tool that they're trying to use on us. And we're like, nope, you cannot touch us with that. We see you. No, basically. Sorry. The parts I'm skipping over are also some just personal life stuff that doesn't really validate anything for you guys. So let me go. They're just saying the best job for right now is to be at peace, understanding that it's happening exactly as it's meant to. When the darkness does appear on the surface, when we are shown the truth, look at it in regards as a tool. The dark is just a tool that does not work. We are meant to continue with the practice of love. We are doing this already. When the dark is exposed, just continue with that flow of love that you're already currently on. She goes, is there virus information that she can share with others? So basically, Allison, or my practitioner, asked, can she share this information with others? And my higher self said yes. Share what she feels comfortable with, but she understands that this fear is still within so many. This may mask the resonation level of others and the truth that she speaks of. She can share about how this is a time to tap into love, about where this love is. When she shares this information, it will hit trigger points within these talons that some may still have. These talons will grab on tighter during this as it feels and sees that it's being dimmed. These talons will hold on tightly. When these talons hold on tightly, that will manifest in the 3D as trigger points within individuals, and that will manifest as getting upset or using their judgment. So when light workers, such as herself, share this information, do not fear the judgment from others, because you will see that it's just the fear talking, just those talons. It's not the soul. So keep continuing to create and strengthen the new timelines of love for yourself and for others. You can share with your loved ones, share on your videos or your platforms, and understand that the anchoring of this truth more and more into the collective will allow others to make their choice as well. So that was huge. So I'm sharing this because I know it's my truth and my guides have asked me to, like usual. And I'm aware that some people, it won't resonate with you because you're tapping into the sphere still. Probably no one that's watching this video. So I'm just, other light workers as well, just start sharing your knowledge regardless of the fear of judgment, because it's not those souls. You love those souls. If it's your family or your friends, of course you love them. But you have to understand that some are still tapping into fear more than you are, or more than others. And that fear and those talons are manifesting, and they see that they're being seen, and they're trying to hold on tighter because it's like, no, be scared. Why? Love's not real. What are you talking about? It's like, no. The more that you choose more and more with your own free will choice of being like, that love is within me. Why would that love not be in me? Why would this not be a truth? The more that fear is going to reside, the more that the talons are they have no other choice but to transmute away from you. And they see that that's about to happen, so they're trying to hold on tighter. That's why it feels like you're almost getting more triggered or more scared or more confused. It's because that talon is manifesting into our reality as fear or anxiety or judgment or doubt. So look at others like that as well. That'll help you hold more compassion to realize it's not them, it's whatever the Stark agenda is. Okay, that part is not important. Let's talk about the love. The receding is happening of the fear. Those in higher, oh no, that's not important. But the receding is happening. Okay, what would help more people switch to light and love? What can light workers do? That's what she asked. And my higher self said, lead by example. Do not turn away from it. Do not turn away from your light. Be very truthful about the fear and show that you can as well hold fear and confusion and still use your love to dim it. Use yourself as a live example. To choose timelines to walk upon. Do not force, but show up by example. Do not force others to do this. Just show by example. Others will be searching. It is time to show love and be really honest and real about the fear. Fear is within each of you on a collective and personal level. It's how you use this fear that will shift timelines. So she goes, the practitioner goes, how can you lead by example when quarantined? I thought that was funny. My higher self says to dim the tension at home or wherever you're at currently. She can feel the fear from the collective. First, start with yourself. When you pull on the fear, it's a natural response to what is happening, but still know that the love is stronger. Start shining this love into every situation and every present now moment. This will help lead and shine into her partner and to other beings around her that she's in communication with. And then as I share this light through my platform as well, with honest examples of how I'm overcoming this fear. Just like you can pull in the fear from the collective, you can as well pull in that love from the collective. So the more that myself and others like this start sharing that love, the more people will have, there will be more options up in that cloud to pull down love. Right now, there's just a lot of fear that people are choosing to pull down because that's kind of the majority of what's up there. But the more that we spread the love back up there, it's like, oop, nope, I'm going to download some love so you can pull that down too. All right? Walls mean nothing. There's actually a cool thing about that in here. Just like you can pull down the fear, you can pull down the love. The love must come or begin from somewhere. Being in separate homes or separated by walls does not diminish this connection that everyone has with one another. It is just a holographic wall from our perspective. It is just part of this reality that truly does not matter because love does not have barriers. Love will be sent out into the collective, for example, and will be pulled down into those fields of individuals who see and choose that love as well. When they see the light workers are holding the unconditional light and love, it will allow the collective to choose the same. It will be very easy for them by that point because of the way showers, because of those who have stepped ahead and are the first wave of holding that love over fear. Do not take for granted the ability to multitask with emotions. This is a very natural human response. When you are very present within yourself, you realize that fear is both a created hologram that you have created and a collective frequency that you've pulled down that's not even yours. Then that'll help you to not identify and release emotional attachment to the fear when you realize it's just something that's not you. You can observe the fear without the need to understand it. You can tap into the love at the same time. So they call that multitasking. Emotional humans are way more powerful than they realize. It is a gift. It is meant to be used. Your free will is meant to be used. What can you do at home to strengthen your connection with others or just increase that passion or that love? So when you find that love within you and you're not using outside sources to blame your fear or stressors on, you will just become that light and love. You will emanate all love within and around you. It will start seeping into others as well and into their understanding. It will be fun. Have fun. Be joyful. Find fun and love in all situations. Always begin and end with love. Talks about some grid work going on. That's just like a personal thing for me and my purpose here. She asked, are there any blocks or attachments or chords or frequencies to be released? And she was asking about me, but it actually came as a collective message. Many will feel ungrounded. This can seep into your lower organs as well. This is an imbalance of this earth, and it's causing physical shaking and movement of the earth. Stay very grounded. Release all emotional attachments that are triggering within your heart of yourself and the heart of humanity. Empaths will feel this aggressively. Release any attachments in your third center, so your solar plexus center above your belly button, as well. Release any attachments in your third center of how your career is supposed to look or how you're supposed to be using your ego. So just start releasing and clearing your third center. As you balance and release collective attachments, it will bring about a clean slate. All should clear their hearts and their roots every day. So your root chakra and your heart chakra. Look up healing meditations for just healing meditations, but really focus on your root and your heart. Clearing and energizing those chakras are very beneficial right now. All should clear their hearts and roots every day, using the collective energy of love versus imbalance while timelines continue to shift fast. So it'll be very beneficial. So while timelines are shifting so fast, we're going to feel like kind of unbalanced. So that's why clearing the root and the heart is really going to help balance us and be like, oh, this is supposed to be happening. Strengthen that love every day, tap into that love and send energy from your heart into the earth and into the sky, as well as all around you every day. This is all personal questions. Talking about abundance. Right now, it's a really beneficial time to release the fear of abundance or the fear of success. So that's actually a fear that some might have as well. You might think, basically what they're saying is some have a fear of success, and that almost causes harm of more abundance coming into your life as well. Or the more that you're being seen, that can cause a fear as well. And the more success you have, the more responsibilities you have. That can be a very deep-rooted fear that some have. So really start releasing the fear of abundance or fear of success right now. Release fear of what is always trying to come towards you. Continue to love and truth. Continue with love and truth and realize abundance will match that high vibration that you're holding. Feel abundance about what is all around you right now. Create and journal the abundance manifestation. So really start creating and being grateful for what you have, so that'll start attracting and opening you up to more abundance that's coming towards you. More personal questions here. Really focusing on your diet right now will help a ton. A lot of leafy greens are very beneficial. Blessing your food and water before you eat, just blessing it with those good vibes, asking that it nourishes you exactly how it's meant to. And anything that doesn't serve you is digested properly, whatever works for you with that. But that's been very beneficial for me, I've noticed. Reducing and taking away salt, I know, but that was a thing too. Getting a lot of protein, a lot of beans and lentils. What happens when those change their diets is what she asked. My higher self said, you will feel much lighter, much clearer, very connected to your body as well as to the present moment. You will feel clear with that energy of love and expand it around you easier. You'll feel much lighter and cleaner. Stop eating processed foods. If you do eat meat, just eating very natural, organic meat at least 2 or 3 times a week for that protein. But if you don't eat meat, of course, a lot of protein with that to help you stay grounded. Salt is going to cause a heaviness and a almost dullness to that love. It'll just be like heavy and you'll just be like, you won't even really care what you do. So it'll help you, that less salt will help with that. Of course, take what resonates with you. This is just what I was told. Ask out loud, speak out loud to your body for what's good for you and feel the first response that you feel. Ask out loud, have direct communication with the body to understand if the body is actually hungry or if it's coming from a separate source. So start speaking out loud. If it is in your head, that's fine. But if you're holding food and you're like Does my body want this? And feel what your body does. Hold it on your solar plexus area, kind of right above your belly button. Hold that food. Feel which way you rock. Stand very still. They were showing me, and I've seen this before as well, which is beneficial in validation, is if you hold food on your solar plexus and stand comfortably without leaning forward or backwards, and you just breathe in and out, and if your body rocks forward with it, it's beneficial. If your body rocks backwards, put the food down, basically. More personal questions. Communicate with your guides every day. Journal each morning and work with the ascended masters and angelic females who are currently present here. Share and journal your journalings with others through your platforms. Speak. Your guides are always speaking to you right now. The veil is very thin. Speak through your love that they're tapping into and expand it around you. Start noticing the subtle winds and shifts, and that will begin to help strengthen your abilities more and more. Our gifts are turning on very fast. It's just us kind of noticing and working with that now. So very small shifts, very like if you handled a situation differently than you would have in the past and it felt better, celebrate that, because that'll bring more and more of that into your life, into your alignment. The more that you hold gratitude and excitement for each gift awakening will allow more and more to expand and anchor within you. That's what my higher self said. Really find a direct image. Bring to mind an image that'll help you create the feeling of joy. So not really love, because love can feel very passionate and like love's amazing, obviously, but joy specifically, they said, in times of fear or stress or anxiety right now, to help diminish more of this fear. What's very helpful is finding an image that creates joy for you. So what really helps me with this is going, and what my higher self was showing is childhood memories where you were just unconditionally joyful, or a place on earth that brings you unconditional joy, but kind of get tap into what joy feels like compared to love for you. I know it's pretty similar and the same, and if love does work for you to bring about that excitement, use that, but finding something that brings you a lot of joy. Bring to mind an image, a specific image that you can just replay anytime you feel that you need that joy frequency within you. Do not be fearful of confrontation. Confrontations are happening right now to prove to you how to create boundaries for yourself, how to say no to others, as well as no to this darkness. So don't fear the confrontation. It will help release any pain, and it will help dim that darkness as well. Do not turn away from it. That's what it was saying. Sorry. Timelines. Oh, here we go. Boundary setting. It was after the confrontation part. It was talking about boundaries. What's the importance of boundaries? And boundaries are very important to hold for yourself. So this is my higher self speaking. Boundaries are very important to hold for yourself. Understand who you are and who you are becoming. Share this in every now moment. Hold grace, hold love, and hold truth in every now moment. Don't dim that for others, and do not dim yourself to make others comfortable. Timelines are shifting very fast, and the choice of others to follow this path of light and love will be made much easier and faster. Relax into this realization, into understanding that boundaries of who you are and who you are becoming is only created by you. You can merge with that being of who you want to become now and hold that boundary for yourself to show everyone else. Beautiful. And then she goes, any final messages? Release any doubt about what's happening and what's coming. Stay present. Feel the warmth of your love as a royal blue. Spread this around you. Stay very grounded with that. This blue or a natural pink helps shift spaces of others that she may come in contact with as well. It will be fun. It will be easy and joyful. Release any doubt about any of this. Blue can help hold the frequency of instant manifestation. Blue will instantly materialize in emotions that it attaches to as love. So she is safe. You are all loved. The collective is loved and is where it is meant to be. Hold this love. Choose love. Understand that the choice of love is our greatest ally. Pray for guidance, clarity, validation, and relief. Okay. I know that was kind of all over the place. But that was my session. I just really wanted to focus on the love part. That's obviously very obvious that I was meant to share that. who you probably have questions about the sphere, about all this stuff going on right now. The main part I wanted to share was the virus is just a tool that we're basically going to say no to really use that love, really use your free will choice of knowing who you are, and that nothing can touch that love within you. And that we're all in this together, and that we can't move forward unless we all go as one. It's not just like one person's going to go and the rest are staying here. It's like, no, the reason we're here is so that we all, every single one of us is moving through this timeline together. And you have the choice whether you want to or not, but this is happening whether you like it or not, whether you want it to or not. These shifts are happening. These shifts are occurring. It's basically why myself and other light workers here are sharing these messages. This is to help you kind of start awakening to it now, because when it does happen, it'll help kind of ease that like shock or that whatever will happen. It's just stay in that frequency of love now, right now, every present moment. Start seeing it happen in your life. Just choose that, especially right now while we're all at home, so that whatever does happen, we're already there. We're already helping ourselves. Don't be hard on yourself. This is all part of it. This is what we're supposed to experience, to be way showers for others. So I know that was a lot. I just did so much talking, but I'm glad I could finally get these messages out there. Yeah. Let me know your thoughts on this. Feel free to reach out on here or on my social media platforms. Check out my website, JoannaStevensEnlightenment.com. I have some awesome courses coming up, shifting from our brains into our hearts. That's going to be very exciting. I'm also going to be starting new Sophia circles soon, which are highly, highly, highly beneficial for the time we're going through right now. So if you're interested in those, please reach out. But thank you all so much for listening to this whole message and resonating with it. I love you all. Tap into that love portal. I'm sending mine to yours. Thank you so much. And yeah, let's just stay together, stay loved, stay safe, and just love each other. That's just all it has to come down to. It seems too easy that we think it can't be done, but love and watch what happens. Hold my beer is what love's saying. So, all right, I'm going to go. I love you all so much. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks.